Yes, this is in my life now.
It's Random Snips, vlogging every week for you.
Hey Snippets! So, I figure it's been a while since I told you guys a good old-fashioned story. And since I've been really into playing Pokemon Blue lately, I've been stuck on these slot machines for like 2 hours and I've been trying to make money off of them and I can't, and it's just, It started making me think about the trip that I took to Japan a couple years ago. So, buckle down and grab some popcorn and get ready for a really embarrassing story. Let's begin. So back in 2010, I went with a church group to Tokyo, Japan. I've been in love with Japan pretty much for as long as I can remember, and this was my first time going to Japan, so my inner nerd was just freaking out. I had all sorts of feels prior to going on this trip. And the actual trip to Japan was incredible. Even though it was back in 2010 and I only have a few memories left, the memories that I do have, I cherish those memories and I keep them in a special little box in the back of my brain to always keep and remember forever. Oh, and having pictures of the whole thing helps too. Well, on the last day of our trip, we got a full day to go shopping pretty much all over Tokyo. And it was getting towards the end of the day and we had all of our shopping bags in our arms because we hadn't stopped back in our hostel the whole day, so we were carrying the stuff that we bought that day with us the whole time. And my bags were getting kind of heavy, and as we were reaching one of the train stations, I think it was around like 5 p.m. or so, the handles on one of my bags ripped and it fell down. And so I yelled at my group and I said, "Hey, hold on, one of my bags ripped, I gotta pick it up." And so I bent down to pick up my bag and I like rearranged my stuff and put that stuff that was in that bag in a different bag. And whenever I stood back up to rejoin my group, they were gone. Like, they were nowhere in sight. I started panicking so hard. I ran around everywhere. I ran in and out of the train station and I ran like around the train station trying to find my group wherever they were, and I could not find them. They were gone. Like, they were nowhere to be found. And of course, 16-year-old me alone in Tokyo with no cell phone and no way to contact anybody started crying in the middle of Tokyo so much. Like, the tears came and they did not stop. Like, I panicked. I figured, this is the moment of my life where I die. I'm going to die alone in Tokyo because I cannot figure out how to get back to my hostel. I remember in my state of panic, I like went in the train station and I stopped at like 5 or 6 different stations, completely random places, just trying to find my group. I wasted so much of my limited travel money that we had. We had very limited travel money, and I wasted so much of it just trying to find my group at these random stations. I was searching for them for about 2 hours. After I had finally decided to like go back to my original spot where I was at, I had just decided to give up. I figured, okay, life, this is where I'm gonna die. Spirits take me now. As I'm standing there outside of a train station in Tokyo crying my eyes out, a stranger comes up and taps me on the shoulder. And she says to me, "Are you looking for your friends?" And of course, 16-year-old me crying and sobbing, I was like, "Yes, I lost my friends and I can't find them." And they said to me, "I think that your friends are in the train station looking for you." So I grabbed all my things and I like ran in the train station faster than I've ever ran before. And as I ran to the train station, I ran into another man who seemed to know what my predicament was, and he just kind of like pointed in the direction that my friends were in. And so I kept following this direction, and then another person did the same thing, like pointed through that way. Like, and it was like God had given me a map made out of Japanese people, and they were just like pointing me in the directions I needed to go. And eventually I had reached this point where I was at the top of this escalator, and then I looked down at the bottom of this escalator was my group. Like, what? I had been searching for 2 hours and then they just happened to be at the bottom of the station that I was at. I like booked it down the escalator. The image that plays in my head is like in those romance movies where the two people like run slow motion towards each other and they're like, "Oh, I love you." That was what this moment is for me in my head. And so I reunited with them and I was crying and I was like, I thought I was going to die here in Japan alone. So moral of the story, if you go shopping in Tokyo, Japan and your bag breaks, make sure that your group knows before you bend down to pick up your stuff, because if you don't pay attention, they may be gone and you may be alone in Tokyo for 2 hours. So yeah, I got this sweater in the mail the other day. So I ordered this sweater like a month and a half ago and I just got it 2 days ago, but I don't even care. Like, I'm so in love with this sweater. One Direction forever. I'm so tired today. I downloaded the ROM to Pokemon Blue on my laptop and I've been playing it literally non-stop for like a week and a half now. The links to my Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, second channel, and live show will be in the down bar below as always. Until my next video, stay awesome guys. Bye!